So a couple months back, I was over at a friend's house working on his F-150, and we was trying to get the valve cover off because the cam phaser had jumped a tooth on the timing chain. So we got all the valve cover bolts out except for one, and it was the aft lower one up against the closest to the firewall. And it was stripped. It looked like it had probably been out one other time, and when they put it back on, they stripped it. And there was no way, it was limited access. It was everything we could do to get a socket on an extension down to it. And now here it is spinning. Now this is not the bolt. I did not have my camera with me at the time. I didn't have any of my own tools. And luckily, what he ended up finding in his toolbox that I don't think he had ever used up to that point, but luckily he had a set. And after that, I decided I'm going to get me a set, because that was a lifesaver. So there's a stripped out bolt, and what he had was one of these stripped bolt extractor sets. And I'm going to show you how this works here in a minute, and how handy it is to have in your toolbox. Because it's one thing if you've got plenty of access to clamp some vice grips on and hope you can get it out. But if you literally can't get a drill down to it to drill it, if you can't get vice grips on it because it's limited access, you're going to have a good option. Otherwise, your entire day is going to be ruined. So let's take a look at how this works. So, of course, this is an entire set. Of course, it doesn't come with the ratchets. And this is what this looks like. I'll let you read what's inside the lid there. Now a lot of these double for metric, so you got 5/8 and 16 millimeter are so close that you can use the same one. Same with 3/4 and 19, 7/16 and 11, 5/16 and 8 millimeter. So that's what that means. This will work on either metric or imperial. And the way these work, so now this is an 8 millimeter bolt right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp this in a vise. I'm going to try to get on it with a 6.8 millimeter and a 6.5/16. And you're going to see just how rounded this actually is. And then we're going to take the 5/16 right here, and we're going to see if basically what we're going to end up doing is just seeing if we can twist the head completely off. Because I'm going to try to clamp this threaded portion in the vise tight enough to where it will not spin. Now, if this is in, like, you know, something that's threaded, more than likely you're going to be able to twist the whole thing out of there. You're not going to twist the head off like I'm going to do here. I'm only going to do that to show you whether or not this will bite in enough to where it will actually do its job and spin a bolt out. What this came out of, the car's gone. I threw this up here in my toolbox and I just now came across it. And I've actually had this for about a month now, and now I'm just now doing a video on it, just to see how it works. That way, if you're you know, interested in having something like this in your toolbox, you've at least had an idea of how it works and whether it works. So let me get this bolt clamped up in my vise, and we're going to get after this. Now, one other mention. Now, you can use a ratchet. So you got your square drive that you can put a 3/8 ratchet in, but you can also get on it with a wrench. So, you know, whatever ends up being the easiest thing to do depending on the access that you've got and what you're trying to remove. So basically what this is an external extractor. So you're probably familiar with an easy out, where you got to drill a hole. Like if you was to snap this head off, you would drill a hole down through the threaded portion of this bolt and put an easy out in and unscrew it. This basically is doing the same thing, but it's gripping onto the head and spinning out bolts and nuts. So let me get set up here. Okay, so I got this bolt clamped in the vise, and what I've got is I've got this 8mm 6-point. 6-point is what I recommend on 6-pointed nuts and bolts, and 12-point on 12-point. And the reason is because you just get more bite, more grip whenever you're using the appropriate socket or wrench. Here's a 6-point wrench that's in 5/16. So we're going to try both on this. So first, we'll just go with the ratchet with the 8mm. I think you can agree that, I mean, there's just nothing there. In fact, you know, just for fun, I'll put a 12-point on just to show you that a 12-point won't work either. Okay, so there's a 5/16 6-point wrench. This happens to be a Matco. So let me get a 8mm 12-point. If a 6-point won't bite it, a 12-point surely won't. So there's that. Now, here's our little extractor. Just going to put it right down on the bolt. I'm going to get me a 3/8 ratchet. I am not going to pound on this. Now, that's another thing you can do is kind of tap it, to kind of tap it down on there just a little bit more so it'll bite in. Now this, the way those little flutes in there are machined, is they actually, whenever you turn it, they draw it down onto the part, onto the nut or bolt, and bite into it even more. So here it goes. So let's see what happens. There you go. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. If that was a stripped out bolt that you needed to get out, this was going to get it out without a doubt. So again, it was a lifesaver for us that he had that kit. He even forgot that he had them. But nonetheless, I've got me a set now. Now I've just got to get this out of here. And actually, just to show you how easy that is to get out, let me get the camera set back up. So to get that out, you're just going to go the opposite way, whether you have a vice grips or whatever, and that thing will loosen right off. So that's how those work. They work really well. I was impressed whenever it came through for us on the F-150. So I'll always have a set of these, and they're inexpensive. I'll put a link. You'll see how cheap these things are. Definitely worth investing in my opinion. Anyway, we're done. You guys take care. We'll see you. Before I shut off, I just want to show you the teeth in there. I mean, it doesn't even look like it's been used. So anybody out there that's going to say, yeah, well, now you can't ever use it again because it's probably, you know, the tool itself is probably ruined or stripped out, I can promise you that right there will bite numerous other bolts and nuts. Hopefully that's all coming through, how sharp the teeth are in there. Anyway, we're done. You guys take care.